Volunteers continue their task of giving those who've crossed the border illegally a proper burial. The group's trek now led them to Willacy County. We first showed you what these volunteers were doing last year. Most of them are students helping exhume bodies in Brooks County. Channel 5's Jennifer Carpenter has an update.
Underneath the soil, a mystery.
This is what I observed. I did observe some of these that were in some of the bodies that were in that state of decomposition, and where there was a visible skull and a skeletal structure.
This cemetery plot north of Santa Monica is right next to Willacy County Sheriff Major Ernesto Garcia's property. He describes watching as student volunteers painstakingly collected DNA and cataloged dozens of unidentified remains.
Not an excavator, but a backhoe, and that's when they gently started removing the topsoil and got down about 4 to 5 feet, where they started locating these remains.
In the freshly tilled earth, you see markers like this one, John Doe, June 27th, 2015. These are the clues the Willacy County judge, Aurelio Guerra, says Forensic Border Coalition asked to search for. Garcia says the group telling him they're working to repatriate these individuals.
That might be another one.
Last year, Channel 5 News followed University of Indianapolis and Texas State University volunteers in Brooks County, where dozens of other unidentified bodies were located. Texas State Associate Professor of Anthropology Kate Spradley then told Channel 5 News there may be thousands of these unmarked grave sites across the state.
There are hundreds more that will never be recovered, maybe even thousands.
Texas state law requires unidentified remains be investigated. It mandates keeping DNA samples and records of the burial sites. Garcia explains the site in Willacy County had markers, but the graves belonged to Jane and John Does brought 10 to 15 years ago from Cameron County.
Most of these remains were placed there, several years back, were unclaimed John Does from Cameron County, and they were shown dignity by being buried and not left at the medical examiner's office, and that's why they were there. And what it was is they did a very good job. They buried them.
Student volunteers now continuing that process of bringing dignity to the dead in Brooks and now Willacy County. In Willacy County, Jennifer Carpenter, Channel 5 News at 6.